the summer, we'll have them Friday nights. You don't have to bug to an observatory show to do. You can see anything. Since it's off center, we're a little bit limited what we can see in that direction. Because when the roof opens, actually let's open it up since it's not going to rain. But yeah, you'll see when it's fully opened, we're going to lose a lot of our eastern part of the sky, unfortunately. But so yeah, this is what we've been using as our main telescope lately. You've probably noticed the dome outside. That's officially our main telescope, but the dome is supposed to turn, and it's unfortunately not, so I have to fix that. In there we have a 16-inch telescope, so when we talk about the size of the telescopes, we talk about how wide they are. So this one's 14 inches, the other one is 16, so not that big of a difference, but still both very good telescopes. And again, unfortunately, won't be able to see anything tonight. Yeah. But yeah, so...
How do they look through? Do they look through this side?
So you would look through over here. So we put an eyepiece over in this part. This is just the lens cap that we keep on while we're not using the telescope, so we keep it clean. The best way to keep a telescope, to clean a telescope, is to keep it clean. And then we put the eyepiece in here, and then wherever that points, we can look directly into it. The eyepieces, we actually have them in this box right behind you. So these are the different eyepieces that we use, and a toolbox is the best way to keep your eyepieces because they just fit very nicely. And this is an example of one of the eyepieces we would use. So, now the cool thing about this telescope is that it is fully controlled by this computer behind us. So I can turn on the computer, tell it what to look at, and the telescope will automatically look for it. It's not completely aligned, so I do have to adjust it after telling it to find something, but it's still easier than the one behind you. Is a fully manual telescope. That one we take outside, and that one we have to move around and everything and keep adjusting it as the night goes on.
Does Rutgers have that kind?
I don't know. I've never been to the Rutgers Observatory.
They have
actually.
an observatory.
But they do on top of the physics building. I know they have the dome. I think it might be a bigger telescope, and it probably is controlled by computer software. I'm just not sure of what equipment they do
Is this computer different than a general computer, or is it a special computer?
It's just a normal computer. It's actually pretty old, so it's nothing really too exciting nowadays. But the important part is the mount right here. So this mount is very important because it's called an equatorial mount, and it keeps the telescope moving with the sky. So as the night goes on, you know how everything rises in the east, goes across and sets in the west, because the Earth is turning. So what this does is, if you notice, if you were to draw a line through this axis, if you were to draw a line directly in that direction, it would point at the North Pole. And that's, so the telescope only has to move in this direction. So as the night goes on, the telescope moves this way, and that way it moves along with the sky. And that's very helpful because, again, that way you don't have to keep adjusting the telescope every couple of minutes like you would have to with the manual telescope like that one behind you. And most telescopes at big facilities are tracking telescopes like that, so yeah.
Are you guys doing any projects on this right now? Or?
No, we don't really have, unfortunately, we don't have a lot of student interest. We do have an astronomy club, and the interest the astronomy club has taken is in astrophotography. And we haven't actually been using this telescope. We've been using, it's away in there, but we've been using this mount. So it's a portable mount, which we take outside. And this also tracks with the sky, so that way we can take long exposure pictures and get different images of different objects in the sky. This telescope was just recently donated to us by one of our visitors. And I want to put it on here as well and be able to take pictures through there because it'd be really cool to get, it's bigger than the one we're currently using, and be really